Hey everybody, it's Debbie O'Neill of Scrap Me Quick Designs in the Let's Learn Cricut Explore Facebook group. And today I want to talk to you about how do you download the bundles from HungryJpeg, and then how do you get them into Design Space to use. So the one I'm going to be showing you right now is the Craftalicious bundle, which is available as of March the 28th of 2016 when I'm doing this video. The bundles only last for a certain amount of time, and when you go to the HungryJpeg.com website, you'll see bundles up here. You can click on bundles and that'll show you the different bundles. There's also one that says crafters, so there'll be different bundles for crafters as well. Now, HungryJpeg puts out these special edition bundles that then they let me know which ones are good for using with our Cricut Explore and Design Space. So this is one of those, and it's called Craftalicious, and it's only $19, which is an awesome deal because it has 13 different fonts that you can use with Design Space, and they're beautiful fonts. They're the ones that everybody's always asking, what font is that? I want to use something that looks like this. So there's some really good things in this bundle, and there are 65 different SVG files for split letters, for images, for phrases. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff in this one. So if you scroll through, you'll get an idea. I'm in that bundle, the Craftalicious bundle, and you'll scroll through and you'll see these are the different fonts that you get, and then these are images from the different SVG files that you get. So there's lots of fun stuff in this one, and what I'm going to do is show you once you click on the link and you purchase, and I'll have the link to the Craftalicious bundle in my description for the video and also in the post in the group. But for those of you who, once you click and you buy it, y'all are asking me how do you then download this and get it into Design Space. So this video is going to show you how to do that. Now, once you purchase at HungryJpeg, you are asked to set up an account. So you'll be logged into your account, which I am up here, and then you'll get these little icons that show up. And the little icon here that looks like a cloud with an arrow is where your purchases are located. So you want to click on that. And once you do that, it shows you any of the bundles that you purchased from HungryJpeg, and over here is here's the Craftalicious bundle, and over here is the download link, okay? So you'll just click on that, and what it's going to do, it will ask you where do you want to store, where do you want to save this on your computer. Now this is going to look different for everybody depending upon where you want to store yours, okay? So I actually have a SVG file on my computer that I put all my SVGs in, and I chose to do that this way and then I have a subfolder for HungryJpeg because I like to keep mine separated by vendor. And then I have downloaded the bundle. So I picked where I wanted to download this on my computer. So you figure out whatever system works best for you. And then once you figured out where you want to put it in, create a folder or whatever you're going to do, then you're going to notice that you saved it as a zip file. So I'm just going to save it. So you can see that it's doing that. So once you do that, you'll see down here in your systems tray, there again, depending upon what operating system, I'm using Windows 10, it'll tell you that it's downloading the file. Now this file is large because it has so much goodies in it, and it does take a few minutes for it to download. So do not panic. What you'll see in your systems tray is some type of a counter here. You'll see where it's letting me know how much of the 397 megabytes has it already downloaded and about how much time it's going to take. Okay, so once I have downloaded it from the file from the HungryJpeg website onto my computer, I will navigate over to where I have saved it. So mine was under Documents, SVG All in the HungryJpeg folder, and here is the Craftalicious bundle folder that I just downloaded. Now you'll notice it says it's a zipped folder, okay? A zip folder is a set of compressed files. Because the files were so big, they compressed them and put them into a zip folder. And you'll notice that you know that it says zip because it says .zip, and the little yellow folder that you normally see has a zipper across it, okay? To access everything in the zipped folders, and you'll see this when you download anything that's a large folder, okay? So this will work for any other thing. Now remember, I am using a PC using Windows 10. Yours may look slightly different depending upon what you're using, but you would just right-click on your folder, and there is in your dialog box here, there is Extract All. So I'm going to hit Extract All. It'll pop up and ask me select a destination. I've got it set here, SVG All, HungryJpeg, the Craftalicious bundle. That's where I want it, so I'm going to say extract. Now what it's going to do, it'll take a second. It's going to go through and go through the entire folder, and it's going to unzip everything in that folder, so then I have access to it. And you'll get a dialog box usually that'll show you, how long is it taking, and what level of completion it's at for it to have unzipped that folder. Now, any of these bundle folders from HungryJpeg are large when they're bundles like this, so it will take a couple of seconds, so don't panic. As long as you see that you have some movement going on, that is how you're going to unzip the folders. Now, if you only had a couple of files in a zip folder, it is pretty instantaneous when you unzip it, but because this is such a large folder, it will take a few seconds to do that. Okay, so once it's complete, you'll get a completion, and then it will refresh your screen, and it will show you that the Craftalicious bundle is no longer a zipped folder. And we're going to open that up. I'm just going to use my mouse and open it up. Now, within each of these bundle folders, you're going to have some subfolders. Now, the subfolder documentation has some good information for you. There is a preview of all of the images for you. There is also the simple guide for the particular Craftalicious bundle, and it's just a graphic, basically, of everything that you get in the folder. And then there is another document that is frequently asked questions, and that helps answer a few troubleshooting issues you may be having with the bundle, depending upon which die cut machine you're using. Design Space is pretty good about this, so not too many challenges with that. All right, so we're going to go back to, so that's what's in documentation. Now your fonts are here. So there's a font folder and there's a graphics folder. The graphics folder is where the SVG files are. And then there's a compiled graphics document. Well, we're going to go into fonts. And you have two font folders. So you have one that says All Fonts and you have Quick Install. Now to be able to use the fonts in Design Space, you have to install them on your computer first. The easiest way to do that is to do the quick install. So I'm going to click on the quick install. And now you see there are, these are all the fonts that are part of this bundle. All right. And what you can do is just right click on the bundle and, you can right click on the bundle and you can click install here. Okay, so that's one way to do it. So here's my little install icon, so I can click install and it'll tell me this one's already installed because I did this when I was doing a test. So yes, I'll just say replace it. Okay, so you're going to install, let me pick one that I haven't installed yet. I know I haven't installed this one. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go into install, and it's going to install the font for me. We can go through and pick a few of these. Brightest is another one. So I'm just going to install. Okay, so you would go through and install. Now what you're doing is this is installing on your computer, all right? So you have to do this on your computer. You can also if you just open up, if you just double click on the font name, you can also pop it up and it lets you know, it shows you a an image of what that graphic, what the font is. There's the font name. It tells you what version it is and so forth, okay? And then you can also click install here, okay? And it's going to install that font. All right? So that's how you're going to install all your fonts. So you want to go through and do this for all of the fonts that are part of this bundle if you want them to show up in Design Space. All right. So that's the first thing you need to do with the files. So go through and install those. I'm not going to bore you showing you installing all of these, but that's how you do it. And then we're going to go back over to the Craftalicious bundle and we're going to go into graphics, okay? And graphics is where all the goodies are that are all those 65 plus images that we get as part of this Craftalicious bundle. And if we click on Princess, they're all divided into subfolders. So if we click on Princess, we're going to see that there's a DXX file, an EPS file, a PNG file, and an SVG file. The SVG file is what we want to upload in Design Space. So here, let's just look at it. So we're going to open up the SVG file, and here it is. It is the file name plus SVG. And if we click on that, it'll open up and show us what this looks like in what the image is going to look like, okay? So you know what you're looking at, okay? You can do this for any of these. Let's just pick a different one. Let's pick Be Brave, okay? Same thing. You'll notice it always has those files, and you're going to go to SVG. We'll click on that, and the little preview will pop up and let me know what this one looks like, okay? This is how you're going to find where you have all of those all the SVG files, all right? So there'll be a whole bunch of these here. Let me see if there's anything. Okay, so there's even some split letters that you'll see. So we'll open this up, and then you'll see that when it's the split letters, any of the alphabets, any split letter graphic image, the SVG images are going to be separate uploads. All right. So this one's the sports letter for the word A, which it looks like this. But you would upload, this is where you're going to find all the individual SVG files for each letter. All right. So I know a few of y'all were having some confusion about that. So I wanted to show you that. Let's see. Where's another one of those? So there's soccer letters and numbers. Same thing. We go into SVG file and you'll see all of those separate SVG folders. All right. And let's see if there was anything else. Same thing with like the fancy letters. Okay, you would see each of those separately. Okay, this bundle has so many SVG files in it, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, but there's tons of stuff to look at here, all right? And then what the name of it is. So in your preview document, where I showed you where you get to documents, it'll show you a graphic image of everything in this bundle. So then you'll know what the name of it is and which one you want to work on. So like here's the Walking Dead one. Okay, so this is where you're going to find all the SVG files. It's underneath graphics. All right, now let's go to Design Space, and I'm going to show you where do you get this information into Design Space. So You'll notice that I am not already logged into Design Space. If you were logged into Design Space when you started installing these files, go ahead and log out of Design Space and log back in. Once you've installed all those fonts on your computer system, they won't show up in Design Space until you've logged out and logged back in if you had Design Space open when you were doing the install. So I'm going to go into Design Space here. Okay, and I'm going to come over here to create a new project. And the first thing we'll go look for is the fonts. So your fonts are not stored in your uploaded images. Your fonts are going to be installed underneath Add Text. So I'm just going to type Debbie. Okay, do this. And then we'll go over here to the Edit panel, and we will click on System Fonts because that's what we want to search for. And it'll take a second. And okay, and then we can scroll down and let me find one of those that I installed. The Antero I know I installed, so I click on that, and that is the Antero script. Okay, so that's how you change it. That's how you find all of the system fonts that you just downloaded from this bundle. Okay, now for some of the fonts, they actually have special characters that are part of the fonts found in this bundle. So how do you see those and how do you access them in Design Space? What you want to do is you're going to have to use, if you're using Windows, you're going to use Character Map. And if you're using a Mac system, you're going to use Font Book. So what I'm going to show you is using Windows, and we're going to find Character Map. So you'll go to wherever on your computer that you would go to look for programs, and you would type in the word Character Map, and it will pull up the Character Map. Now this is what the Character Map looks like. It says Character Map, and it has a list of all the fonts that you have installed on your computer. Okay, so I have a bunch, as you can see. So they're listed in alphabetical order. You would find the font that you're interested in, and since we used Antero earlier, I'm going to click on Antero, and then what you want to do is make sure that down here where it says Advanced View, that is clicked. Okay, there's a little checkbox there, and you want to do Unicode, and then where it says Group By, you want to click on that box, and you want to come down here and select Unicode Subrange. Okay, when it does that, it pops up another box that says Group By, and you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom of that box and click Private Use Characters. And when you do that, it unlocks any other characters that are also part of that font set. All right, so now you can see those. If you click on one, it actually it pops up a little bit bigger so you can see it easier. Okay, so that's how you would find what it is that you're looking for. If you double click on it, it's going to add it into this where it says characters to copy. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a couple of these just to show you what you would do. So I'll just randomly pick some. They're not going to spell out a word, but I'll just randomly pick some. So I'm adding them to my tray down here, all right? And then I'm going to select Copy. Okay, so now it has copied all of those that I've put down into this characters to copy, and then I can come over here to Design Space and click on Add Text, and then just do Control V and paste those characters in that I copied. Okay, and then give it a second, and you'll see that it actually then adds those characters to your Design Space screen, and then you're able to use them. So that's how that part works. So you can use that for any of the fonts that you've uploaded to get to any special characters that are on there. So it's pretty simple. All right. Now, the other thing is, how do you get the SVG files in here? Well, this is simple. It's just like when you upload any other SVG files. We're going to go into Upload Images. We're going to click Upload Image. We're going to navigate here where it says Browse. That takes us back to our computer. So, and then I need to go down and find where I have everything installed on my computer. Okay, there's my bundle, my Craftalicious bundle. Here are my graphic files, so I'll go into graphics, and let's say I want to upload the SVG for that princess file. So this is where I'm going to go into princess, go into my SVG folder, and then I will grab it from here. So I'm grabbing the SVG file. Yes, I want to import it anyway. Okay, so if you get that message, there's some challenges with Design Space with uploading some of the SVG folders. So just click continue, wait a couple of seconds, and then your SVG will show up. Okay, so here is my SVG file. I'm going to put 2016 Princess. I could tag this if I wanted. I'm not going to tag it right now. And then I'll go into Save. So once it's saved, now it is in my uploaded image library. Okay, so this is where you have all of your SVG files that you've uploaded in Design Space. You can find them here. All right, there is no limit to the number of SVG files that you can upload in Design Space. All right, so if you have, I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to do Insert. And now I have this. If you go over to your layers panel, you'll see that this is an image that I could cut out. All right. Now from here, I can also hit the flatten button, and I can make it so that it is a print and cut file if I prefer that. Okay. Or I can just hit my back arrow and go into Design Space again and make it a cut file again. All right. Okay. Now, as you can see here, I've already started uploading some of the images, and some of them imported in fine. The ones that, like the 2016 Princess, and these with a lot of the verbiage on it, the phrases, I guess, those are the ones that are showing up where it's telling you, do you want to continue to upload that file? You're getting some type of a message. Keep doing it because these work just fine in Design Space. Just keep saying continue, and I've already uploaded some of these. The other ones imported in just fine. I didn't get an error message. All right. Now, when you were working with those split letters, like I showed you when we looked at some of the files, some of those files are, each individual letter is already split out. Okay, so here is where I've uploaded the D from the split letter D is what this one is, and these individual letters I would have to upload one at a time. But there are a couple of these sets, and one of them, and when you go in to use it, the split letter flourishes. Instead of each letter being listed individually, they're listed as a group. Okay, so I'm going to go into split letter flourishes. It's going to upload it into my program, and then I'm going to say save. All right. And then it's going to add the whole alphabet in my uploaded images library. All right, so now if I want to pick this, I'm going to click on it and go over here to Insert Images. And it'll take a second just because it's big, okay? And then it comes in and it's all grouped, okay? And you'll see over here each individual letter, all right? And what you will want to do is go in here and ungroup. So they all came in as groups. So I want to come over here and ungroup the letter. Okay. And now I have individual letters. All right. So if I scroll down, they're going to have imported in backwards order. So if I scroll down to the bottom, the first letter is the A. And if I wanted to hide that A, I could just click on that. Okay. So let's say I only want the letter D. Okay, so I can just unclick all the rest of the letters. This will take a second. So I'm just showing you a couple of different ways you can do this. So I'm just going to unclick all the letters. because I want to keep all these letters together because I may be working on several projects at the same time. Okay, so now I only have my D that I have to deal with, and I can go in, I can size this whatever size I want for the project I'm on. When I click go, it is only going to put the D on my mat. All right, so that's one way to do it. The other way to do it would be, put this back. The other way to do this would be just to isolate that one letter. Let's say I only wanted to use the D. Now remember, I've ungrouped these, so I could just click the D or the C or E or whatever letter. So I can just click the D if I wanted, and it'll highlight it over here in blue in my layer. It's kind of a gray color here in my layers panel. I know this is the right one, so I want to click on that. I could change the letter to a different color, and then when I hit go to go to my mat, it'll take a second. I can come down here and just pick the D that I wanted to do to cut out, and then just cut that one letter out because I changed the color. All right, so I could certainly then just move this over and size it to whatever size that I want it to be, and then when I click go, it's going to let me I'll just ignore all these other mats, and I'm just going to come down here to the D that I wanted, size the way I wanted it, and then when I hit go, it would just cut the D out. Okay, so that's how you can kind of get around when these files are grouped like that, because in Design Space we cannot save individual letters when it's imported as a grouped file like this. Okay, but that's how I would get around using these grouped letters. So we've talked about documentation, fonts, and graphics. Now, there is another folder in here that I wanted to mention, and it is called Compiled Graphics. So when you click on Compiled Graphics, you'll see that there's two subfolders, a DXF and an SVG folder. That SVG folder, if you click on that, it is going to open up, it'll show you every single SVG file that is already in the Craftalicious bundle. And so if you know the name of the file that you're looking for, you could easily come grab from here to upload it into Design Space instead of opening up each of the other folders that I showed you underneath graphics. Okay, so that gives you two ways to be able to see that and to be able to grab the file, but you need to know exactly which file folder, which one it is that you're looking for to grab them from here. But that's a great new feature that HungryJpeg added for us based on some feedback we gave them. All right, so that's how you import the fonts and the SVG files. If you have any questions, let me know. And there again, I will put the link to purchase the Craftalicious bundle in the description of the video. And also, if you click that tweet button, you get an extra 10% off of the purchase. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry it was a little bit long, but I wanted to make sure that you saw every single step and you know how to do this. I'll talk to you later. Bye.